Hey everybody, Ryan here with Ray's latest, and today we're going to talk about the game today that just spiraled out of control for us there in the eighth inning. We went up 2-0 early on. Yanni Diaz hit a backside homer. Saw a stat that he does lead Major League Baseball in the past 3 seasons in backside hits, which is kind of impressive, but that's kind of always been where his approach has been, is to the opposite field. And he does kind of find most of his power to that kind of oppo gap. And it looked great off the bat. I mean, it was into right field bleachers, looked good. It was pretty much gone off the bat, in my opinion. He kind of knew it too, just just based on the way he kind of left the box. We're up 2-0 early. And then Drew Rasmussen looked very good. He did give up the homer there, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. I mean, it was where I'm trying to get into today, but I'm trying to be nice about it is Junior Caminero does not look like Junior Caminero right now. And he doesn't, it's not even just a defensive standpoint. At the plate, I mean, today he went 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. His batting average on the season right now is 238, which is not like concerning, but his slugging is also 238. He hasn't had any extra base hits. His OB, his on base percentage is kind of where he's thrived a little more. He's got over a 400 OBP, and that's just solely based on the fact that opposing pitchers have just been walking him a ton. And I don't know if that's kind of changed the way he's taking his approach at the plate. I don't know if he's necessarily trying to just see pitches and get walked. And it's kind of messed with how his approach is, but something's off. And then we transitioned to the defense today, and that was one of the worst defensive showings I've seen from a Major League Baseball player in maybe forever. I mean, 3 errors in one game is really bad. And it was, granted, the first one was kind of it was a bunt to third base, picked it up, he had him out by a mile, and it just tailed off his arm side, and then he gets a kind of a chopper to third base a couple innings later, and he does the same exact thing where it just kind of tails off his arm side just behind the runner. And it almost looked identical just from two separate spots on the field. And the one at first base, I don't even know what that could be. He just dropped the ball. And he doesn't play first base a lot. I get it. Your pinch run for a Rondo, which was kind of a question mark head scratcher in the first place in moving Junior over there. But a Major League Baseball player should catch that ball. And I did see on the broadcast today, I was able to catch the full game. He was trying out different first base gloves on the field before he went to first base because apparently, I guess, I don't know, then Milwaukee, he just didn't bring one with him on the road trip. But he kind of just grabbed the glove, patted it a couple times, and was like, okay, yeah, this is good. And he kind of dropped one of those weird in between balls where first baseman, you don't know if you want to go up, if you don't want to go down. And he just dropped it. It's a really bad looking, kind of spiraled that inning out of control. And for Jax there, who I'm going to get into here in a couple seconds, but I think if Junior continues to play the way that he does at third base and Taylor Walls gets back, granted you have to have Yanni Diaz in the lineup somewhere. If Ben Williamson continues to kind of do what he's been doing, granted he had a bad day today, he went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, but he's done enough to be able to kind of mainstay himself in the lineup per se. And Palacios played at second base today. Wasn't the best showing today. Only had 2 at-bats, 1 walk, and a run. Velati ended up coming and pinch hitting for him afterwards. Carson Williams came in today as well. Didn't look the best in the field defensively. It's the whole game that Kevin Cash has been playing with these infielders is really starting to draw question marks in my head with like what's going on. Because you have Ben Williamson start the day. He's playing short today. It transitions over to third base after they move Caminero to first, and then we bring in Carson Williams to play short. It's I don't know what he's doing with the infield, but it's really confusing to me. And I don't know if that's just a depth issue. Because you have the men to do it, just numbers wise, but the correct people that are fitting into these spots is just not doing it. And if Caminero is your backup first baseman, that's a problem because he can't even play defense at third right now. So just transitioning to a position that he has no idea really what he's doing, and even in that inning that kind of spiraled out with Griffin Jacks, I kind of was just watching Caminero on some of these relay plays and balls hit to the outfield. He looked like he was lost out there. He had no idea where he needed to be positioned. He didn't know where he needed to be set up for a cut. He was just kind of wandering around in his little space over there. And it's like, I don't know if they're even training him at first base, if they were like, oh, crap, you got to go play first because Yanni's the DH. We don't want to burn the DH. We don't know what to do. That's what it seemed like. And having all of this happen with that eighth inning that kind of just spiraled out for us there, all kind of just compounded on one another. And it just blew up in our face, and we ended up giving up six there in the eighth. Drew Rasmussen looked great today. Like I was saying earlier, Seymour had a great bounce back outing today. Two Ks in two innings with a hit, 22 strikes, 32 pitches. And then Griffin Jacks comes in the eighth, who's supposed to be pretty much the main guy kind of competing for this closer role for us while is on the IL. And he currently has a 22.5 ERA. And he didn't record an out today, gave up three hits, walked one, gave up three earned. Granted, kind of all started because of the air in the infield there. It's still no excuse to kind of perform the way that you did there in that situation. 20 pitches, 12 strikes, so he's kind of right at that 60% strike range. Not terrible. It just was not good. And he's been struggling over his past outings as well. I mean, his first outing against St. Louis, two-thirds of an inning, one hit, one earned, giving up the homer. His second outing against St. Louis, one third, two runs, one earned, one hit, and then today, and then his next outing, he did look pretty good against Milwaukee. On Monday, one inning, no hits, no earned, 1K, and then today. So I don't know exactly what's going on with him, where the disconnect is, because in the World Baseball Classic, he looked fantastic. And I was really excited to kind of see what he was going to be able to do for us. But I don't know if it's just the transition over, or if it's just getting ramped up too early, or if it's just a disconnect or something going on with him. But something's not right. And so I think that getting him back to full form is just pertinent for this team and for this bullpen, especially given where we're at with our closer on the IL. We need somebody to be able to step up out of the pen and not explode like everybody else has this season at some point. There's just no consistency. The bullpen is completely flip a coin. Is it heads? Good. Tails? Bad. I don't know. And I don't even think Kevin Cash knows. So that's one of those things where, especially if you're a coach and manager making these decisions and you don't know if a guy's going to come out one day and be completely horrible or fantastic. And it puts him in a tough situation on who he can trust. And if you can't trust anybody in your bullpen, your team's not going to succeed because the starters have been there. Even Martinez had a great start. Rasmussen's had two great starts. McClanahan looked good until that fifth inning. Matt didn't play horribly. He pitched, kept us in the game for a win. It's the bullpen is what's been exploding for us, and I think that either just playing around with call ups and seeing if we can get guys that fit and get into a good groove. I don't know if that's the answer. I don't necessarily want to say that's the answer because I think that the arms that we have in our pen are good enough to compete and to do the job. They're just not doing the job. So I don't know if the organization needs to kind of think about a way to get them all to kind of mold into what they need to do, but it's just not working right now. And so obviously it's very early on in the season. It's game six. We're 2-4, but the blow up today should just have not happened. And I get it's baseball. It will happen from time to time, but it was completely controllable and we just it blew up in our face and it just compounded and compounded and compounded. And Jax did not do anything to shut it down when he should have. And it just, like I said, spiraled out of control on us there. So I'm really concerned to kind of where this bullpen stands at the moment. But you guys let me know what you guys think about kind of how juniors look to you guys so far, especially defensively, and as well as what you guys think about how the bullpen has shaped out the first 6 games of the year, because it has not been good in my opinion. But I'm really curious to kind of know what you guys think about it. But you guys have a great